OK, it's time for my next guest. I'm thrilled he's here. It was one of the highlights of the summer when he won the Wimbledon title. The first British player to win for 77 years. Let's remind ourselves of that incredible moment.
He won Olympic gold with an ace. How about one more here?
Any point will do.
The waiting is over.
6-4, 7-5, 6-4.
Andy Murray is the Wimbledon champion. And you simply cannot give more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andy Murray. That was an exciting moment for all of us. I imagine it was quite a nice moment for you as well.
It was.
Talk us through what was going on just before that win, because, you know, in tennis, the incredible thing about that game is it can still go either way.
Well, yeah, so I was up 40-love, basically, in the last game, so I had 3 match points, and then I lost them, and then he had...
Well, slow down a bit. So you're 40-love, so you're thinking, OK, I've got to finish it with one of these 3 points.
At 40-love, when you're serving, you're thinking 100% it's over. So in my head at 40-love, I was like, oh my God, I'm about to win Wimbledon.
So you're already celebrating inside?
Yeah. And then basically 3-4 points later...
Well, let's go through each one. So you lose... So 40-love, then it's 40-15. And you're thinking, OK, but you're still thinking, I've got it.
Yeah.
OK.
Yeah. You're still fine there, but then...
So you serve again.
Yeah, he hit a winning return.
Great return.
Yeah.
So now it's 40-30, so you're still thinking, OK.
I wasn't really thinking that then. When it got to 40-30, I wasn't... I was pretty nervous. Yeah.
And then...
Well, then when it gets back to deuce, the problem is that I'm now 2 points away from winning, not 1.
2 in a row as well.
Yeah, and I'm allowed to swear.
Please do.
Yeah, I was shitting myself.
And was there a time when you thought... I always thought you would win. I knew you'd win a Grand Slam. I always thought you would probably win Wimbledon. But, of course, there was a chance that you might not. Because those are the breaks sometimes in sport played at that level. Was there doubt in your mind that you would actually get Wimbledon?
Yeah, I mean, after Wimbledon last year, then I thought there was a good chance I may never win a Grand Slam. In some ways, it was actually good for me to actually accept that, because then I was able to deal with it a bit better, and I kind of relieved some of the pressure on myself, because for years I was thinking, like, it's going to happen, I'll do anything it takes to try and make it happen. But then when it actually got into my head that actually this might not happen, I actually started to play better. It took a bit of pressure off myself.
So you almost made peace with the level of expectation?
Yeah. It had been so long since a British man had won a Grand Slam. It had been, whatever it was, 70-odd years, that I actually came to terms with the fact that I may not do it. And once I did that, I actually started to play better.
The year before, when you lost to Federer, you were clearly choked up. But I get the feeling that you're not particularly comfortable in showing your emotions publicly. Would I be right? I mean, it's not I'm not going to try and make you cry now. Don't worry. This isn't a cruel game.
Yeah, no, it's not. The thing is, as an athlete, especially in an individual sport, you actually, for years, you're trying not to show emotion on the court. That's something that you're almost taught to do, is to not show emotion.
Well, because you don't want to give the other player you don't want to show them what's going on, do you? You don't want to show them if you're in turmoil.
But if you went and watched a video of me playing my very first Wimbledon, I was jumping around like so happy every time I won a point, so excited that I was tired after like 20 minutes. And I needed to change, I needed to change that. I needed to become a little bit more sort of, I don't know, level-headed.
OK. Andy Murray has a book out. Now, some of the stuff we've discussed in this conversation is in the book. It's brilliantly written. It covers all that stuff really in great depth. It's called Andy Murray, 77. It's fabulous. And you really go into detail, I mean, about the ins and outs of what's going on in your head during those key moments. And I was amazed at the stress that you're feeling, because at one stage you talk about how your legs started to go.
Yeah, when I get like, everyone gets nervous in different ways, I think. For me, when I get nervous, I feel it in my legs a lot. But then it was the very first time when I actually looked down at my arm, and my arm was shaking. And I never had that before.
During a match, the arm was shaking?
Well, that was when I went back to juice in the last game. Wow. And that was when I realised that this could get ugly quickly.
So you thought that you might lose it?
Yeah.
Your family are there watching you most of the time. We've seen your mum Judy is almost every match, and she was very much instrumental in keeping you in the game, in coaching you when you were young, and in supporting you and your brother in that. You don't, I've noticed, and I guess this is a little bit, you don't look at them during the match too much, do you?
I try not to, no.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, I watched the last game of Wimbledon, actually, a couple of days after Wimbledon, and my mum's reactions after the points aren't particularly helpful. Like, I'd lose a match point, she was like, stand up, like, rigid, but, like, she's, like, saying, it's okay, and I'm looking at her face thinking, I can tell in your face you're thinking it's not okay.
So she's trying to do what the mum should do.
Yeah.
She's trying to do what someone in your corner should do, but at the same time she'd be a terrible poker player, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you about the aspect of being famous that maybe you're not as comfortable with. Obviously, there's great fascination, great interest in your private life, in your personal life, that kind of thing. You don't talk about that much. What are the most annoying? What's the kind of question you dread getting?
When are you going to get married? Being asked that one. It was like after Wimbledon, it was like, so when are you going to get married? Like, just because you won Wimbledon, like, now you should get married? Like, the two were somehow connected in any way. I didn't.
But if not now, when? I mean, it's like, that'll make it quite a big, memorable year for you, and you're never going to forget the anniversary if you did it in the same year. When did we get married? Oh yeah, the year I won Wimbledon. Let me ask you about drugs, Andy.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't take any.
Well, let's talk about this, because I know you look up to me.
Yeah. I've seen him on the tennis court.
Both
He's
as a man
impressive.
and as a tennis player. Yeah. I was drunk when I played tennis with you last time.
And that was your excuse, wasn't it, for the level of play?
You should try it. It loosens you up. It's a good feeling. No, drugs. They have the random drug testing in tennis, as they do every sport. Now, am I right in thinking that you got drug tested on quite an important morning?
It was a couple of weeks ago, yeah. I was going to Buckingham Palace to receive an OBE. And, yeah, just literally as I was about to... Yeah, and the car had already arrived to take us there, and the drug testers turned up. So then, yeah, basically, there's lots of rules with the drug test now. Like, you give blood, but you have to sit for, like, 15, 20 minutes before you can give the blood, so that... for whatever reason.
So what did they think probably, OK, he's going to get the OBE, he's going to have had doobie the night before that. Animal, OBE. Give me a pizza. There you go, Judy. You know, do you think, is that what they thought was happening?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. They say that those are random tests, but...
That sounds too specific a morning to be coming on. Exactly. When you got the OBE, this is another first, this was the first time, I believe, that Prince William had been in charge of that investiture. He had given you the OBE. And William is about the same age as you.
Is he?
I think so, isn't he? How old is he?
I'm 26. I think he's a bit older than that. But...
Wow, well, if you want to have a dig at William, go ahead. Trust me, you want to get that knighthood, you better stand on his right side. OK, he said, but look, I'm 52. To me, you're both kids, you're the same age.
So you're double my age.
Oh, off. It's not a maths test. All right, you can add up. OK, I'll double your age. So, but you're kind of in the same region. You're both under 30. He's started a young family. He's married, by the way. Did you chat about tennis? What did he say?
I just had back surgery, so he asked me how that had gone. And I told him.
Dull.
I mean, there's a lot of people there. He just asked me how was the back surgery, and I said it went well.
I'm not asking what he said to them. I'm asking what he said to you. Is that all he said?
Well, he said that, and then he asked me how it had been, how everything had been since Wimbledon.
This is it. Open up. This is what I want. Yes.
Yeah, and that was the gist of the 1 minute conversations. I did say to him, because after Wimbledon, his wife wrote a letter to me, and she has unbelievable handwriting.
What,
and
bad? Really bad? Like
no,
a doctor?
amazing,
Oh,
amazing handwriting.
Beautiful.
And he writes like a boy. I did mention that.
Hold it. So you're telling. Yeah. So you said to him, as though nothing has happened. You're treating like this. So he says to you, "How's the back?" And you go, "By the way, your handwriting is shit compared to that."
Pretty much.
What did the letter say from the lovely Kate? How's your back? Yeah, I know.
It just said, "Well done on Wimbledon."
What was actually wrong with the back?
There's a lot of stuff going on there, basically, but I had to have some bone shaved off the back.
Some what shaved off the back?
Bone.
Oh, some bone.
What did you think I said?
Well, I don't know, but that sounds like a lot of work to be done. Yeah, bone.
No, it's
shaved.
very minor. It's very minor, like very small amount of bone.
It's a small amount of bone.
Small amount of bone, but it makes a big difference.
Where's the bone gone? Did you save the bone?
I didn't.
You can get money for that bond on eBay.
Is that what I was saying?
Yes, you were saying bond. No wonder I didn't know what you're talking about.
Bone.
What's the future hold for you? You're playing tennis, obviously, but do you have your sights set on anything particular, or what's your sort of brain space at the moment?
The first big tournament next year is in January, which is the Australian Open. I've lost in the final 3 times there, so that would be the next sort of immediate goal, but I need to get healthy with my back first.
And then the other one you haven't won, of course, is the French Open. And that's a tricky one because on clay it's a very, very different game.
Yeah, and I'm not very good on clay, well, unfortunately.
You're not bad, but I mean, you're not, you know, while Nadal's still on, we need to nobble Nadal, don't we? Because he's the clay meister.
Yeah, I think he's won 8 French Opens now.
And is it true that he pranks you sometimes?
He did prank me once in New York a couple of years ago. Do you want to hear the story?
No, we don't want to hear the story. Of course we want to hear the story. You're pranked by Nadal. Who else can say that?
No, basically I was sitting at dinner with my girlfriend, and during the meal, which I probably shouldn't have done anyway because it's rude, I was checking my phone. And anyway, so checking my phone, and I looked at one of the messages, and it was from a number I didn't recognise, and it said something like, "Oh my God, Andy, you look so sexy tonight." And I was like, it's a shame you're here with your girlfriend. So I obviously didn't tell my girlfriend at first. I was like, I didn't want to ruin the meal, so I put it back in my pocket. And
Did you want to ruin the meal, or wanted a chance to call that number back?
and then on the way, basically, it clicked who it was on the way back from the meal. But he'd obviously the whole time been watching me from a distance, looking at this message, seeing my face, and also just not telling anyone.
Have you managed to prank him back yet?
No, but it'll happen, but I'm just waiting for the right.
Before you go, I'm afraid I've been asked, would you wee into this bottle? There's a test that they need to do immediately. I'm afraid it has to be done in front of the audience to check there's nothing...
I don't know if it will fit in the top there.
It won't fit in the top, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Here we go. Let's give you this here. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying thank you and congratulating our Wimbledon winner, Mr. Andy Murray? Thank you.